Merry meet Aquarius, Aquarius sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all you Aquarius starting today, the 13th of July, 2024. This is Ariel Gatoga, and we are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. Moderating today on YouTube are the lovely Shirley and the lovely Honeypaw. Moderating on Twitch is the lovely Dre. Thank you so much, moderators. And thank you, Aquarius and Friends of Aquarius, for joining us today for this 2-week reading. Today I am reading with this Trionfi della Luna. I've already purified with this beautiful Agua de Colonia Concentrada by Alvarez Gomez. Just as a note, I'm going to probably say this several times over the next few weeks, but I've spent a lot of time promoting this wonderful perfume by L'Occitane, but be careful of it because the last 2 bottles of this very expensive perfume that I bought, at about 2/3 of the way through, the sprayer stopped working. And so now I'm going to have to decant it. They could send me a new sprayer because this sprayer unscrews, but they won't. They said, nope, but if it happened within 30 days of your purchase, we would refund your money. And I thought, well, how nice of you for that. But anyway, so just be careful of that. It's very expensive and it's not worth spending so much money for a perfume you can't use. Anyway, enough of bagging on L'Occitane. This is a 2-week reading for all Aquarius. Goes out to a lot of Aquarius, so if for some reason it doesn't seem to apply to you or doesn't seem to make sense to your situation, it may just not be meant for you. In that case, check out the Zodiacal readings for your sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign, and you can find all of the most recent of those restreams on our website, arielscorner.com, arielscorner.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you're watching on Twitch, please make sure you follow us on Twitch, and you can watch on Twitch without any ads when you subscribe to us there. You can give a donation if you feel like it by going to paypal.me/arielgatoga, paypal.me/arielgatoga, or if you are on YouTube, you could use a super sticker, super chat, or super thanks if you feel like giving a donation on that platform. We do appreciate your support. And Aquarius, we appreciate you for being here for this 2-week reading. One more shuffle ought to do it. Then I'll give this deck a nice clean cut and we'll see what's in the cards for all you gorgeous Aquarius. Da-da-da-da. Starting off with the Page of Coins, followed by the King of Cups, and then the 5 of Wands. Good. Good, good, good. You're really mastering some spiritual principle. And I think that's been going on for you for a while. It just seems like the last several readings we've had stuff like that happening. And part of it too is you're not losing sight of how that spiritual power, that spiritual understanding, that those spiritual gifts of yours can also be very practical. You know, that's wonderful. A lot of people have a hard time with that balance between spiritual growth and spiritual unfoldment and physical practical goals and things like money and career and stuff like that. You are. And the reason why it's working so well for you, Aquarius, is because you're making your spiritual life your priority, but you're not cutting it off from the practical benefits that can be had from having a spiritual understanding, a spiritual life. So this spiritual mastery that you are achieving is wonderful. Now, don't worry that sometimes a spiritual master has a temper tantrum, or a spiritual master gets in an argument, or a spiritual master has some real frustration with things. It doesn't negate your spiritual mastery. In fact, sometimes, especially when it's the 5 of Wands, not so much the 5 of Swords, but when it's the 5 of Wands, that sort of upset, that sort of anger or frustration is sacred fury. It can be anyway, if used properly. So if you're upset about something, maybe you need to be. Maybe that's okay. Right? You don't have to suppress that, at least not over these couple weeks, because you're not being a jerk. You're being you're being spiritually astute. And there's no sort of what do I want to say? You don't have to deny yourself your feelings of frustration because you think that they're not spiritual enough. Don't deny those feelings. When they come up, they're trying to teach you something and tell you something. And they're usually stuck energy that needs to be worked through. And you can have it all. You can have it all. You can have the money. You can have a fight if you need to and still be a spiritual master. Isn't that nice? You don't have to play at being a spiritual master. You can actually embrace it in all forms. Because like I said, you're not being a jerk when you're upset right now. Like, not that you can't be, we all can be, but that's not what's going on here. So I think the reason why this is coming up is that you don't want to shut down what you're feeling because you're worried that that's not what a spiritual person would do. That's the bottom line here. Because yes, it is. Remember, Jesus, if you care about Jesus as a spiritual figure, I mean, many do, but many don't. But it just popped into my mind with the money changers. He had a total hissy fit in that temple. He threw things over. He screamed and yelled and had a major fit. He cursed a fig tree, right? And if you believe that figure had any merit, he seemed to be fairly spiritual. So, if he can do it, so can you. I guess that's the point. 2 of coins. Queen of coins. Wow, good for you. 3 of cups. You're doing so well. Yeah, don't shut things down. You just be you. You're on the right track. Finally, right? Things are just working out for you. It's not always smooth sailing. I understand that. But when it's not smooth sailing, you know what to do. And you understand why it's not smooth sailing. And a lot of times the reason it's not smooth sailing is because somebody needs to hear something. And because somebody's doing something that they shouldn't be doing. And it's okay for you to bring that up. It's okay for you to bring that up. You're not being unspiritual by pointing things out when they need to be pointed out, right? Because you're doing great. Look at this. Now, I know it's been scary financially for many of you. It's been like, there's so much uncertainty about it, but you're doing everything right and you're on the right track. You don't have anything to worry about. And I don't see you really doing a knee-jerk reaction from that, because the way you're responding to your financial fears is to do the right things. So many of you are nurturing your prosperity by doing magical things. So many of you are nurturing your prosperity by doing all kinds of things, whether it be magical or practical or a combination of the two. And that work is paying off, and it will continue to pay off. And your future, if you are walking on the same path that I see you on now, looks quite bright. It looks very, very bright. Now, I'm not a predictor, but it's not that hard to predict if somebody's walking down the street to the corner store at a medium gait and they've got, a certain amount of distance to go. I can predict they'll probably be there in about 2 minutes, right? Barring them changing their mind, barring them, twisting their ankle or something like that. But for all intents and purposes, based on where they're heading and at what speed, you can do a decent prediction. That doesn't mean you're psychic. It just means that you're logical. So just looking at this, we're not being psychic by saying your future looks bright because you're on the right path. You're going right where you need to go. You're doing exactly what you need to do, and you don't need to second guess yourself when you don't feel all ooey gooey spiritual all the time. That's part of it. That's part of it. And you don't need to be, quote, nice all the time either. There's a difference between being nice and being kind. There's a big difference between nice and being kind. When you're nice, you're putting on an act. You're trying to appear a certain way so that you can get a response or a reaction from another person. That's being nice. You're doing things in the physical world. You are modeling behavior that you have been taught is nice. When you're being kind, it comes from something spontaneous. And sometimes it's very kind to call someone out on something. Sometimes that is an act of kindness. Not always, but sometimes it is. Sometimes the kindest thing you can say to somebody is no. It's not nice necessarily for that person, but it's kind. No, you can't do that. No, I'm not going to let you abuse me. No, I'm not going to let you into my house, whatever it is. No, you can't stay with me for 3 weeks. That's kind of you to say that, because you are doing the right thing in the right moment, even though it may not be nice. So it's really important to understand that that's the whole crux of this Five of Wands, is that if people perceive you as being a little prickly sometimes, if people perceive you as being aloof sometimes, it's because you're an Aquarius. It's just how you are. And if they don't know that about you by now, that's their problem. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not attacking people. You're not going out of your way to hurt people. You're just being yourself. So you do that. You don't have to be nice, because I think, according to what I see in this reading with this King of Cups, kindness is sort of your bag. Kindness is who you are and what you are all about. So acknowledge that in yourself and let yourself be who you are. Just let yourself be who you are and know that you are on the right track. You're on the track to having that success, that satisfaction. That's successful, isn't it? It's not only that you're successful the way the world defines it, but you're successful meaning that you're satisfied. You're satisfied with your money. You're satisfied with your relationship. You're satisfied with your home. You're satisfied with your career. All of those things. That's where you're headed. That's where you're headed. And since it's this 3, we know that it's going to be a slow and steady thing. But that's good, because not only is it slow and steady, but it's long lasting. And remember that your first planetary ruler as an Aquarius is Saturn. So you're right at home with this 3 of Cups, because yes, the cups could be called water, but look at what they're carrying as far as they are water bearers. And that's what you are. So the 3 of Cups is one of your great cards, because it's Saturn as a water carrier. And that's who you are. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing, because this is promising that not only are you going to be on a path where you do get satisfaction, but as you get that satisfaction, even in small moments, and even if everything isn't always perfect all the time, you are being encouraged. I can't think of my words today, but you're being encouraged to celebrate your wins. And there's a lot of them. Start now. There's a lot that you've already won. Start celebrating. You don't have to have a big party or anything, but just in your own heart, have a celebratory experience inside your own mind. Go through your life as a celebration, because everything's working out for you. And you have the freedom to be yourself. So you don't have to feel like your hands are tied because you can't quite be yourself because people don't understand you. So what? They don't need to understand you. You understand you. The universe understands you, and you're doing great. And so many great things are happening because of you and all of the wonderful choices that you're making. So that uncertainty of the past is really giving way to all kinds of nurturing, all kinds of wonderful information, all kinds of good news. And it's all based, like we said at the beginning, it's all based in your own spiritual mastery, your spiritual practice. And that understanding that you as a spiritual being, as a spiritual master, are a unique expression. And that doesn't always look like what people think a textbook spiritual master looks like, especially not with you, because you're very unique. And that's a good thing. So lean into that. Do what you're doing. You don't really have to change a thing. You're right on the right track. You're doing great. All right, thank you so much for spending some time with me, and thank you so much to the amazing moderators. Today we had the lovely Shirley, Honeypaw, and Dre, and we will see everybody, all of you Aquarius, in 2 more weeks. Until then, blessed be.